when I got back from Korea, my second time there, I was in Barksdale when Hurricane Katrina hit. You were down in
Okay.
Keesler.
Oh yeah.
I remember that day, dude. The
Yep. It was
sky
bad.
was the sky was nice and beautiful and blue, and
Yep.
then the clouds coming up were as dark as your fucking shirt. It
Yep.
was insane.
I was I was out at the islands the day before,
Yeah,
and then we those so the way they did it, they sheltered a lot of people in these the 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 schoolhouses
yeah.
that are very strong. So all the mission essential people, and then there were some families and stuff. We've learned from this, by the way, a lot of families in there and things like that. And we were stuck in there for a long time. It was it was bad.
Yeah,
Like, it was really bad. So
yeah.
when it when the when it was all over, we us security forces, CE, I think, and the fire department. Well, the fire department was probably already out, but we were allowed to go live in our shops, which was good
There you go.
because those shelters with all them babies in it, like they had a whole classroom that was just for throwing diapers in. Like there was a mountain of diapers up in that
How
bitch.
bad was Keesler affected?
Oh, oh my god, dude! It went underwater. Like
Yeah,
it was insane. Like the whole there was no place. I don't think there was an unaffected place. We live on a peninsula,
yeah.
so like water's, you know. I mean, I'm not a meteorologist, but it was bad. Like I just remember getting in the truck and it being like at, I was in a third world country.
Mhm.
It was awful. You know, and before we that happened, we were all supposed to leave that Sunday
Right,
for BC3,
right.
and they actually called back everybody from our career field from BC3, and uh, those of us who were supposed to
Sorry.
leave that Sunday, that we got canceled because we were working deployment. That was a deployment. I'm telling you, it was
Yeah,
bad.
yeah,
We were
yeah.
working 20-hour days.
I can't
Uh,
imagine, and I'll tell you why I can't imagine, and this leads into what happened after I got to Barksdale. So Katrina hits and everything gets devastated. I think you might know that. Um, I packed my go bag. I'm at Barksdale, dude. I'm in fucking Shreveport. I work in transportation. I packed a go bag and I put it in my car and I walked up to my ops supervisor and I said, whenever we're ready, let's go. Let's get down there. Let's do something. We didn't do a fucking thing.
Damn.
We did nothing. We did nothing. Let me tell you what happened. My brother was running over the road trucks at that time for some civilian company. I don't know, JB Hunt, something like that. He calls
Yeah.
me. He calls me. He says, "Hey, man, I'm going to be in Shreveport. We are going to be stationing our tractor trailers in Barksdale so that we can run uh, supplies down to the affected areas." He says, "How cool." I'm like, "Come on, you can stay there." I can't remember how long he stayed with me, a couple months, maybe. My brother, a civilian trucker, was running supplies down into Baton Rouge and all
There
the
was a lot of
affected
that.
parts of, yeah. And Barksdale didn't do a damn thing.
That's crazy.
Our shop didn't do a damn thing. Nothing.
That's crazy.
As soon as all that shit was over, you guys don't know this. As soon as that
Yeah.
shit was over, I walked into my first sergeant's office and I said, "I want a Palace Chase right now." He said, "Why?" I said, "Because we let people die." I said, "We're a few hours away from these people and we did nothing. We didn't take one tractor trailer down there. We didn't take one ambulance down there. We did nothing. All
Yeah.
we did was sit on our asses watching it on TV." I said, "I don't want any part of this." Palace chased me. I did the rest of my career in the reserves,
Wow.
and I could have given a shit less about what George Bush and anybody was telling me. I just I was short for I don't know what 11 years. No,
Yeah.
no, 9 years, 9, 11, 9, something like that. The second half of my career, I didn't give a shit because I had to sit there and watch people several hours, just a few hours from me, die.
That was one of the most, well, for me, because we were doing shit. We were doing a lot of shit. Like constantly, nonstop. Just bringing MREs, water, supplies, diapers, like shit you don't even think about. Like bringing them into churches and things that you can barely get into because there were
Right.
no sheetrock in these places anymore. And just it was probably one of the most rewarding parts of my career
Yeah.
was was helping my own uh people out, like not only my own American family but my
Yeah.
Mississippi family, like where I was raised.
Right.
It but I don't care how hard you think you are, uh, every one of us got in them trucks one time at some point and was like had tears
Right. Right. And you know
because
what?
it was awful seeing some of these old people try and like wheel their crippled wives to the hospitals and things like that, and you're like trying to throw water bottles out of the window like they're Mardi Gras beads or something, trying to help. But it's as sad as it was it was it was probably one of the most rewarding things
You know,
I've
and
ever
I,
done.
I absolutely know exactly what you're trying to say here because when I was up in North Dakota, when I got back, I deployed to Dhahran in Saudi Arabia in '96. When I got
Ooh.
when I got back to Grand Forks after that deployment, we had Blizzard Hannah that came through North Dakota, Grand Forks, and hit the Grand Forks Air Force Base. We were without power and water for 7 days, and the temperature was 70 below. We had nothing. We had nothing. I lived on the second floor of the dorms, and me and my girlfriend at the time were taking everything out of the freezer and sitting it outside of our window, just right there. That's how much fucking snow we had. It
Damn.
was insane. But I can remember I lived about,
Did you make a pee snowman?
they're making a pee snowman. We did so much. We did so much stuff. I walked from the dorms uh, to my office, and on a regular day, it would take you uh, 10 minutes, 15 minutes,
Yeah.
maybe. It took me an hour to walk from the dorms to my building. When I got there after 3 days, the mid shift that had been on duty when the blizzard hit was still there. They had been there for 3 days.
Oof.
Jeez.
So we have this horrible blizzard that comes through, right? Now I could do an entire episode on this, but I'm gonna try to skip through. After this blizzard, we're at 70 below, right? We had snow for 7 fucking days. On day 8, it was 70 degrees.
So
Think
the
about what
floods.
that happened. The
Oh, it
fucking
flooded.
red the fucking
Flood.
Red River backed up and completely put Grand Forks underwater. And what did we do? We got in our fucking trucks. I remember we had a fire truck on the back of a tractor trailer firing water at a building that was on fire in downtown because the fire truck couldn't get there. We were sandbagging. We were running shuttles down there, pulling people out of the water. We were helping the town.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I understand exactly what you mean. I know exactly what we can do in transportation. And Barksdale, and I'm not saying that it was Barksdale's fault. It was obviously
The
our higher
leadership.
command. Yeah, the leadership's fault, right? We should have been fucking supporting Keesler, and we weren't doing none of that.
Scott came down to Keesler even.
How nice was that? Aw, we didn't do a fucking thing. We didn't do
Because
nothing.
they brought me some beer.
Now that's
And we
support.
That's saving lives right there, brother.
Just Scott, yeah,
Well,
yeah,
you don't think about how much losing power affects you till it does. Like we had to stand in line at the finance office and get a cash advance on our paycheck because there wasn't an ATM or nothing. But there was nothing to spend cash on either.
well,
It was all gone.
yeah. They're like, why do you
We
need
had to
money?
if we found out somebody was going to Mobile, I was like, "Here's my whole paycheck. Bring back Bud Light."
Man,
I was living in the student dorms.
These are the kind of stories that people don't really hear about from different parts of the military, right? Especially when the Air Force, because the only thing they think about Air Force is we're flying high and we got aviators. They don't think about the logistics part or the things that you guys witnessed.
You were
right?
a pilot?
Yeah. Or the things you guys witnessed, like the hurt that you had, Pete, from not being able to be out there to do your job because you know your job. And then the things that happened to Hoggy, what I'm saying, being back home helping his own fellow citizens right now, almost 20 years ago, that was Hurricane Katrina.